Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm your host and producer this afternoon, Logan Landers. Joining me to talk about the NFL and also NCAA legend, Earl Campbell, who played, of course, with the Houston Oilers and, as we know, made his mark at the University of Texas, Hook'em Horns. Help me out, as always, my guy from the Elite Sports Entertainment Network, Jay McLovin, Jason McMinn, whatever you want to call him. All I know is that he is a football savant and he knows a lot about the state of Texas and also the team out there doing their thing every Saturday. Jay McLovin, man, what's going on? Say what's up to the people. And also, give us your thoughts on Earl Campbell, who was an absolute monster back in the day.
Yes, thank you, and it's good to be here. And first of all, before you talk about Earl Campbell, you have to first play the song of him. So stand by.
Okay, all right. While Jay gets that pulled up here, we will. I'll just think, man. And also, if you guys want to check this out, oh, you got it? He's got it.
Here we come. It's the Oilers, the greatest football team. We break the ball from goal to goal like no one's ever seen. We're in the air on the ground, always. And when you you're talking Super Bowl, 'cause we're the Houston Oilers.
Yeah.
Can you hear that? Can you hear it pretty good?
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. That was Earl Campbell for a long time, baby. A long time. Yeah, it's good to see number 34. Look, this guy, Heisman winner at University of Texas. Honestly, really should have never even played football. He had a heart defect, a heart murmur, and honestly, they said it's a miracle he didn't die on the field, quite honestly. But he was the kind of guy. He was a north-south. There was very little east. There was very little west. But when it did go east or west, you had to have both hands on him. You weren't pulling him down with one hand. So you had to really focus on that belly button because otherwise he would just juke you left or right, Logan.
No doubt.
I mean, seriously. I remember he ran over this one guy. I don't remember this guy. He literally put his foot on his face as he went into the end zone, and it was incredible to watch. Him. I remember watching him as a kid. Lots and lots of times, and just an incredible athlete. Honestly, Logan, for his size, just incredible.
Yeah, and you mentioned it. I mean, he had that condition, from birth, and man, he that didn't slow him down one bit. I mean, he worked, and he was just, if I just say one word, man, he was just dominant, right? We know what he did at Texas. The career numbers there: 40 touchdowns for God's sake, 5.8 average yards per rush, 4,443 yards. And also 765 rushing attempts. Played in 40 games as well. I mean, like I said,
you know what else he did? You know what else he did? He was also their kickoff returner.
Yeah, imagine this guy running at you as a kickoff returner.
I mean, could you imagine that? Because back in those days, Logan, he ran the ball. I mean, he did all the returns. And he did about 70% of that workload of the offense. I mean, there was no running back by committee. It was Earl Campbell. That's it. That's it. So I mean, he was a lot. I mean, a lot of that Oilers offense went through Earl Campbell specifically.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at his career as a whole, but I mean, I'm more so going to highlight the first handful of seasons in Houston because that was his peak, right? That was his peak.
Right.
Rookie year, Offensive Player of the Year in 1978, 1,450 yards on the ground, 13 touchdowns. Then 79, as we know, won the MVP out there in Houston, 1,697 yards for 19 touchdowns. And then somehow he followed it up the year after in 1980 in terms of his attempts and his yards. Jay, he ran the ball 373 times for 1,934 yards, and he got 13 touchdowns. I mean, just oh my God, if you haven't seen clips of him, if you haven't watched game film of him, you're going to be impressed just with the ferociousness of which he runs, with just how he's able to just get it going, man, and just run through guys. I mean, ultimately, he's, obviously one of the best Texans of all, or one of the best Texas Longhorns of all time. But when you look at the Houston Oilers, man, that might be the guy when you think of that team in terms of just, like you said, wearing that nice powder blue uniform right there, looking good in it, getting it done, and just running guys over. Just no regard for human life as he was running guys over left and right. Like you said, front and center as well. I mean, just the amount of time he was able to, the impact he made, right? And throughout his career. I mean, it was phenomenal. Of course, we know he went to played in Houston from 78 through 83. Midway through 84, when he was then traded to New Orleans for just the end of 84 and also 85, where he had called it a career. But 74 touchdowns on the ground, man, 9,407 yards, and played a lot of games over 115. He got it done. But the thing too, Jay, he got 2,187 rushing attempts. It's just the thing of, all right, yes, you know which play you're going to go for. Give it to him and just see what happens. And you don't know which way he's going to go, but he's going to run someone over and ultimately get to the end zone. And that's, I found something too, Jay, when just looking at his career. And this is in 1980, right? That really, really productive 1980 season where he had the carries for 373 attempts, which all broke his own record at the time. Jay, over 60% of his yards came in the fourth quarter in that season. Over 60% of his 1,934 yards came in the fourth quarter. I mean, that's just the definition of clutch right there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we could go on and on talking about Earl Campbell and just how dominant he was. I mean, we haven't really seen we've seen a lot of guys, right? We've seen, I would say more so recent memory, like the Adrian Petersons of the world get it done. Obviously, right now you would say Derrick Henry, who had a really good career in Tennessee, who's drawing comparisons to Earl Campbell. But I don't think, especially nowadays, I don't think we're ever going to see a guy who's just going to put his helmet on and just truck dudes every single Sunday. I don't know if we're going to see that again. And like I said, Earl Campbell, man, he just got it done. No doubt, I would say the best power back in football history for the NFL for sure. And just a great guy who got it done, man, for both of his alma maters, right? Got it done for Texas, as we said, and then also made his mark out there in Houston with the Oilers. So, and I mean, like I said, ultimately, what he did in terms of College Football Hall of Fame, Pro Football Hall of Fame, numbers retired, won all these awards, Pro Bowler, MVP, Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, it's just a laundry list of accolades this guy had, but well-deserved, man, well-deserved. And Jay, it was fun today, taking a trip down memory lane, talking about Earl Campbell, having some fun, playing his music on the show as well, always fun. And like I said, it's just been a blast. But guys, if you enjoyed the episode, give us a like, follow, share, and subscribe, Facebook and YouTube. Also, go check out our podcast, available every single week. We're Jay McLovin. I've been your host, producer, Logan Landers. Guys, go and watch some Earl Campbell clips if you haven't already. You will be shocked and awed. But until the next time, we'll talk to you one another.